Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the New York Giants. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Let's go now.
Play action now. Mills. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Giants and the Texans last year, if you go by the numbers, the two poorest offenses in the NFL. The Giants 31st in total yardage, and the Texans dead last. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. They'll run it for the first time with Dameon Pierce. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on second and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Throwing, Mills. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First and 10, it's Pierce. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Giants are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Love the play call that time. Love the design. You put 3 tight ends on the field. That screams jumbo set, running formation to a defense, right? No, they go play action, and defense gets confused for just a split second. And next thing you know, completion for good yardage.
Here's the first carry from Matt Breida. He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. The Giants at 2-6 now on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well, because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
Now Franks. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Frank's throw here pulled in by Galladay. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Off the play fake. Here's Franks. Rolling to his, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Kamu Krujay-Hill getting in there and taking him down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. Franks. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Gano's kick is good, and the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Mills now going to keep it. Titus Howard, right tackle, the man flagged for that one. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on 3rd. Looking to throw is Mills. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Pierce gets this one running right. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 43 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
First down, they go right back to Pierce. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's Pierce on the counter, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. From the gun, here's Mills. Forced it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Dexter Lawrence With a big-time sack on third down, it's a loss of 7. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Franks now. On the screen, this is Coleman. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Blue striker. Ready.
The Franks looking to throw. The throw for Tony is intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise.
And now look at this, big gain, but a fumble, and the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. They looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, I mean, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing deep for Galladay. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And the Giants are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Breida, they'll go up the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Ready.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Ultra. Go red. Opposite, 3.
They run again with Breida. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now a give running left is Breida. The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Gano's kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
He was solid on the field goal, but not as solid on the kickoff there, and that'll put him at the 40-yard line to start this drive. Final play of the half, Mills. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now his second down throw. Here's Franks. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he's got some space here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run. 33 yards. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Back to throw. Franks. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You can feel the effort all the way up here. He tried his best to get there. Didn't quite make it, but down around the 2-3 yard line, got to love the effort, and especially the big play that gave his offense a great opportunity.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. Breida will score. Touchdown, New York. Finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And it's up and good to make the score 13-3. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. But, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Pierce now up the middle. Fights through it. 58 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
Mills on 1st down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Mills throw complete there to Beckham. And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a 1st down.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Once more, it's Pierce. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it. You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send a message that says, hey, we're not going away.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And that is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Setting up play action. Franks. And he fires one that's intercepted. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, well, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. Now 2nd and 9 from the 10. From the shotgun, it's Mills. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Giants are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They'll get this to Coleman. And some room to run now. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll move the chains.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts?
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Pierce takes it straight ahead. Pushes past him. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 80 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Mills. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 13-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Pierce. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Miles Sanders. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They will run again with Coleman. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll run with Coleman on first down. Taken down at the 42. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. 2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Now Breida on a toss left. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary.
Yellow, go. White. Ready.
Working out of the gun, Franks. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
Ready, play. Hey, don't do this. 52 blaster.
On 1st down, here's Breida. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun, Franks. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up defensively. You pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. It's Franks now from the shotgun. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Here's Jamie Gillen now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. That's returnable now for Smith. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the save calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Mills back to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Mills. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Mills looking to throw it. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And it's knocked away and incomplete. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. A run between the tackles with Breda. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Open to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. Always got some breathing room. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They give him a gain of 37. You talk about catching a defense off guard. They were not expecting jet sweep at all there.
Well, he was 10 yards downfield before the defense even knew what hit him. So a really good play call against a defense that was set up for them to gain big yardage. And how about how they executed the handoff there? That means they spent some time with the wide receivers taking handoffs from the quarterbacks.
52, red, cycle.
Now a 1st throw here in overtime. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to have it with a chance to win the game here in overtime. Well, that one hurt, CD. They were in field goal range. They wanted that touchdown, understandably, but now a field goal on the other side would beat them.
And when you get the ball first in overtime, you're thinking to yourself, nothing less than a field goal, but you really want the touchdown. You don't want to put the onus.
He's got a man complete. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
The trip home so much sweeter, isn't it?